Yes.
So you can't tell me anything because the owner of your store and the manager of the store who dealt with him and the person who sold him a fish tank, they decided not to come and to send you to be the sacrificial lamb to my mouth.
Your Honor, we're a small company.
You don't know anything. What you know is hearsay and is inadmissible so that I can take all of my facts from the defendant. Do you understand? So this is the story as I get it. Sold him a fish tank, $3,800 plus, charged it to his credit card, delivered the fish tank. He called within a couple of days, is that right? And said this fish tank is defective and he has scratches on it.
Within 1 day I called.
Good, within 1 day. And
but in their complaint they stated that...
No, don't.
Okay.
Don't talk yourself into a loss.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes.
Good. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of general questions which don't require a hearsay response. The salespeople that you have are paid on salary and commission?
No, ma'am, they're paid hourly and commission.
Hourly and commission.
Yeah.
So they make the most substantial part of their money on commission.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the salesman who spoke to and had dealings, who's not here, who spoke to Mr. Winston, he said, this fish tank's defective, they sent somebody out, and took days to get somebody to come out there and look at it. This is a huge fish tank.
Correct.
And they said, we'll get you a replacement.
Yes.
This was on what date?
Well, I called March 29th, they delivered the tank. On March the 30th, I called to complain about damages to the tank.
When did they come out?
And they came out February the 3rd, I believe it was.
Well, they can't come out before you complain, so if this was March 29th.
I mean April the 3rd. April 3rd.
Okay, and then they said you would have a replacement when?
They said within a week.
So when you didn't get a replacement or hear from them within a week, what did you do?
So I followed up with Eric, the service manager, who delivered the tank.
Okay. Does he also get a commission?
No, ma'am.
Just the salesman?
Just the salesman, yes.
And to make a long story much shorter, you were promised a new tank within a week and you didn't get it.
Correct.
You ultimately, after a month, went to the store to find out where your tank was.
Correct.
And who did you meet with? What's the name of the person?
I met with Eric.
Who's the service
The
manager?
facility manager.
And Eric, because they can't tell me what happened, Eric said what to you?
At first he offered me $200.
$200. So you paid $3,800 for a big fish tank, and now they've sort of, how do you say that, non-Brooklynese? They sort of played around with you for a month, hoping you would go away. And then they said, oh, we'll take a couple of $100 off the tank. Go away.
Yes.
And you said no.
Correct.
And then what happened?
So
Right now you've been charged for the tank.
correct.
And you put in a request to the credit card company that the merchandise was defective.
Correct.
To reverse the charge.
Yes.
In the meantime, according to what he would like to tell me if he could speak, they ordered another tank.
Correct.
Do you have either tank?
I have the first one they delivered, yes.
And you're more than happy to give it back to them.
Well, right now, I don't think I should give the tank.
Well, right now, let me explain something to you, because that's what their lawsuit is about, Mr. Winston. Right now, they say that they had two tanks, that they brought one to your house, they brought another one. Forget the fact that they brought another one because your service manager was disrespectful when he said, we'll give you $200 off. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
But right now, you have a fish tank that you're happy with. And if you're not happy with it, you can give it back.
And they've had ample opportunity to pick the fish tank up
They're gonna pick it up.
since March the 30th.
Just a second. They're gonna pick it up. And I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna pick it up with a marshal within 5 days of today's order. Do you understand?
Yes.
Great. Because that's what we call sort of an unjust enrichment. You say, well, I really don't like the fish tank, and they did the wrong thing, but I'm gonna keep it anyway and not pay for it. Forget him, he hasn't said a word, right? That's what you want me to do? That sounds reasonable to you?
No, I was just saying that, Your Honor, based on the fact that I've had the property at my location since March 29th, and they've had ample opportunity to pick the property up.
No. There was a lawsuit started, you went to mediation, all that took time. You went back to court, there had to be paper served, all of that took time, okay?
Your Honor, may I speak?
No. No. What the owner should have done of your company is send somebody who had first-hand information somewhere about this, and that's not you.
What I'm about to say is not regarding what happened before the fact. It's after the fact. When we get back a used aquarium, it depreciates value
Who
by
cares?
60%.
I don't care. So if what you're saying is you don't want this aquarium back because it's depreciated, I could do that. That means you get nothing. I don't think that Mr. Winston should be enriched by having a fish tank that he's enjoying if he says it's defective. The credit card company reversed the charges, so he really got something for nothing. Your company has to be punished because you were disrespectful to a customer. Your salesman got a commission, didn't want to lose that commission, played around with him for a month. I'm trying to figure out another way to say that. For what? Well, even that's not. Even that's not. And then said, get rid of him because we made $2,000 on this fish tank, so we'll give him a couple of $100 on the fish tank and he'll go away. Well, he wasn't prepared to do that.
The reason that they did that was because the tank was on back order. It wasn't something that was in our control. And whenever they called the vendor to try to get a new tank, they back ordered it.
That
Once we did get
is
it,
not
it was a week
his-
later
just a
after they
second.
had spoke to him.
That's not his fault. That's your fault. You should not have sent a defective tank to begin with. Your company thought it could get away with sending a tank that was scratched, not brand new. Somebody spends $4,000 on a fish tank. They want something that if there's a scratch on it, it's a scratch that they put on it, or one of their friends or family or a kid or a grandchild put on it, but not come to them scratched. So you didn't do the right thing. So the fact that now when you pick up this fish tank, because I'm going to give you an order to pick up the fish tank if he needs a marshal to come to his house, the fact that it's depreciated in value is too bad for you. You didn't sell him a brand new one. Did you see a display model on the floor of what you wanted?
No, not of what I wanted.
Our showroom consists of display models. Everything that's on the floor gets bought by the customer there.
Just a second.
We don't have backstock.
Did you buy something that was in the store?
No, it's not in the store.
Where
It's custom made
you ordered it on what date?
on February the 2nd.
And it was delivered on March 29th.
Correct.
Sir,
Yes.
that doesn't sound like it was in the store.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a discount off of the original prices. We were running a sale on that size tank because the manufacturer offered a sale price for those custom aquariums. It being 72 inches, it's something that is custom, but yet a lot of people ask for that measurement.
That's a
when
lot.
we had those in store on
So
the
why
floor.
didn't you send it to him from February 2nd to March 29th?
When
If you had
Eric
it
scheduled it on, I believe it was March the 2nd, they had scheduled it, and then on the second paper, they moved it to March 29th from
Listen
10 to
to
12.
me very carefully, sir. If what you're telling me is that this was an in-stock item that you had, and if he ordered it on February 2nd, it should have been delivered to him on February 4th, not March 2nd. If what your salesman was doing was telling him that this is a custom-made tank that we have to order out for you, and in order to justify that, he held off delivery of something that you say you had in the store for a month in order to say, well, there was a custom-made tank for you, and what you sold him was something that you had in the store already, that's a little more chicanery. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
The two of you was telling him that this is a custom-made tank that we have to order out for you, and in order to justify that, he held off delivery of something that you say you had in the store for a month. That's a little more chicanery. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
That's like saying, you know, we have to custom make this dress. Get the dress from the back, put it aside, hold off for a month before you send it so we could say, well, we had it custom made to your measurements. And then you get it. That's what you told it. That's what you just said to me. Do you understand that that's what you just said to me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, that sounds ridiculous. Okay, so do you want the fish tank or not?
No, I do not want the fish tank.
Great. 5 days from today's date, you make arrangements to go and pick up the fish tank. Then you have your property back. We're done. Thank you.
Here's our excuse. You may step out.
Yes, there was some damages to the tank, and unfortunately, it took a little bit longer to be able to get the replacement tank.
Very happy with the decision. I don't think I received a custom-made tank,
And we did fault at that, and that was
and they pretty much verified that today.
the reason that we offered the $200, to try to
There were scratches on the glass, all around the glass, on all three sides of it.
make up for some of the time that he had been waiting for the tank to come in.
Just make sure you do some research first before you deal with certain companies.
Yeah, definitely, we would have to talk to our salespeople, make sure we inspect products before they go out the door.
and now the next